Hello everybody and welcome to Letterbox Book Club. I am Mackenzie.
And I'm Claire.
And today we are having normal bodily functions. Anyway,
we're dying.
Discussing the sequel to the prequel from Jennifer L. Armentrout. A light in the shadow of the ember of the flame of the flesh and fire.
Yep, that's pretty much it. That sums it all up.
We are talking about a light in the flame. I couldn't remember the title ever.
She's just trying to be a smartass.
Yeah,
At this point, it all sounds the same.
It does. I saw these other books on TikTok today as well, like The Court in the Mountain Shadow or whatever. It's like
so many like fantasy buzzwords.
Like, a court, blah blah blah, like in the blah blah.
I keep seeing something like maybe like a court of thorns or something. No, a court of thorns roses. No, something like City of Thorns or something like that. Maybe I don't know. It's like they're all the same sort of like buzzwords, like shadow and silver and dagger and all that stuff.
Mountain.
Yeah, love all that stuff. But yes, today we're discussing the sequel to the prequel. Yeah, as you put it
today.
Oh, sorry. I don't know. I'm a little bit unwell.
You said yes today.
Yes, today.
Yeah. Sorry, I heard yesterday.
Even though I just repeated yesterday, it does sound like yesterday. Oh my god. Yes, today.
I will start us off with the blurby blurb. The only one who can save Sera now is the one she spent her life planning to kill. The truth about Sera's plan is out, shattering the fragile trust forged between her and Nyktos. Surrounded by those distrustful of her, Sera is her duty. You want to try that again? That's what it says. Surrounded by those distrustful of her, all Sera has is her duty. There we go. She will do anything to end Kolis, the false king of gods, and his tyrannical rule of Iliseeum, thus stopping the threat he poses to the mortal realm. Nyktos has a plan though, and as they work together, the last thing they need is undeniable scorching passion that continues to ignite between them. Sera can't afford to fall for the tortured Primal, not when a life no longer bound to a destiny she never wanted is more attainable than ever. But memories of their shared pleasure and unrivaled desire are a siren's call impossible to resist. As Sera begins to realise that she wants to be more than a consort in name only, the danger surrounding them intensifies. The attacks on the Shadowlands become... I need to start this again because I'm struggling. As Sera begins to realise that she wants to be more than a consort in name only, the danger surrounding them intensifies. The attacks on the Shadowlands are increasing, and when Kolis summons them to court, a whole new risk becomes apparent. The primal power of life is growing inside her, pushing her closer to the end of her culling, and without Nyktos' love and emotion he's incapable of feeling, she won't survive her ascension. That is, if she even makes it to her ascension and Kolis doesn't get her first, because time is running out for both her and the realms.
Well done. You got there in the end. Love that. Also, maybe you might have prefaced this where it sounds like you're a little bit unwell as well.
Excuse me?
A bit of a cold? No? Or
I woke up with a bit of a nose situation.
Yeah, okay.
And yesterday I was sneezing a lot in twos, so...
Yeah, I was sneezing a lot yesterday as well. Yeah, well, I had a bit of a cold. I'm on the back end of it, so I sound a bit...
so really it was from you.
Yeah. You would be offended if I pulled out of going out to that cafe or whatever, so...
No. I mean, some people...
It's better than just forgetting. So yeah, I apologise for any, incessant sniffling you might hear.
Claire, I've had COVID on this podcast twice.
I know, but we've been online when that happens. So. And we're also talking a little bit quiet because James is asleep.
James is having a little bit of a snooze after shitting his pants. He's a baby, he's allowed to.
Yeah, but when I do it, it's a problem. I have issues. I have incontinence issues. Alrighty. Thoughts, feelings, emotions. This book hits different. I don't know what it is about it. It just is. I was enthralled.
Oh.
When you get into the meat of the book, obviously, everything starts to kick off. It's a busy book. There are many little plot strings at play, and you wonder, what's going to take precedent. But yeah, I was enthralled. There was a moment where I was, tunnel visioning, because I was just, really focused and in the moment, in the world type of thing, because I know sometimes I can get, easily distracted and constantly go back and forth, picking it up, putting it down type of thing. But I was actually upset when I had to get up and go to work. I'm like, oh no, I'm getting up to a good bit. I have to leave now and I have to put it away. But no, I really enjoyed it. Busy book. Everything obviously escalates towards the end as per usual. And there are a lot of kind of expositioning and a lot of downtime talking as well. So
I was the complete opposite.
Oh, hello.
As I shall quote myself to you, it is a shit book, but it goes all right, I guess.
Goes all right. the most Aussie thing you could ever say. It goes alright.
I find it really difficult with prequels in that because I know where it's going to end up.
Of course,
so
yeah.
all this like plot padding, I ain't into it.
Fair
I
enough.
don't like it. And I know I was saying to you because there is all that like burning tension with Nyktos /
You and your
Ash
blue
Sera.
balls.
Yeah, and I was like, I just need them to fuck. And then they did start fucking, and then they didn't stop fucking. So I was like,
And then it was like every other little moment.
exactly. And then it's too much. Like,
Yeah, because I remember they went to go to like the underground pool or whatever,
Yeah.
and it was just to test Sarah's strength, but they just end up fucking anyway.
Yeah.
It's like, what's the point of that?
Yeah, and I was like, just give me like sporadic, really nice, passionate sex moments. Don't give me all this like heebie-jeebie stuff. You know?
Tension building, like
Don't give me shadow sex.
this is shadow sex. Yeah, honestly, that was so weird. And it's like they're trying to have that game where it's like, all right, we're angry at each other, like we betrayed each other, they're both hurt, but they want to play the game. Oh, this is just for the sake of our own pleasures. Blah blah
Yeah.
blah. No feelings, but of course, you know, feelings come into it very quickly.
Yeah.
I suppose. Yeah, I get that. But I suppose at the end of the day, it is kind of like you'd probably deem it more as like a romance aspect because it is about like Nyktos and Sera and their love.
Yeah. So, and I'm interested to see where, I guess, that's my thoughts, feelings, emotions. Like, I'm happy to just talk.
Okay, yeah. Segue, just go.
Segue, sorry. Because I'm skipping right to the end or whatever.
Okay, sure, go for it.
But yeah, I am happy.
Just quickly, we're after this book, we're up to date with the series. So I guess if you're not up to date with the From Blood and Ash series, I guess in general, we're probably going to talk freely. So if you haven't read all that, probably best not to listen to this. If not, listen at your own risk.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So I am interested to see how their love develops because Sera has like admitted that she's in love with him essentially.
Not necessarily said to him
Yeah,
because
but,
she didn't
like,
get the chance, but yeah.
But then Nyktos has said like, if I could love, like I would have loved you.
When he was like, I wish, and then it would stop, I'm like, oh yeah, I wish. Like, I thought it was going to be like, I wish I could love you, not that he could have the Kadia, whatever it is, back.
Yeah.
But yeah.
The cardia.
The Kadia.
And then because we know that they have 2 kids or whatever
In the future,
in the future, so I'm interested to see if like he does get that back.
Yeah.
Or if there's just kind of like,
See,
or you know that like I do love you
in like
his
some
own
way.
capacity.
Yeah, I thought the Kadia or whatever it is, Kadia. It's funny in the beginning of the I suppose probably in the physical book as well, but there was like a few pages of pronunciations, and of course, you know, I've just ignored it. I'm gonna say it however I want to say it. I thought that was going to be like a main plot point, like him getting his Kadia back, but I suppose that is still probably on the cards. See, and yeah, when I said that it's a busy book, like, because we have the whole Hannon everyone's trying to figure out who this newly ascended Primal Bell, or find her, sorry, and who did it. There's like the Kadia as well, and then we have the whole exchanging the embers from Sera to Nyktos, which that kind of revelation came about pretty quick because, like, you know, we thought it was one, and then she had the shade incident where she started turning it back to life, and then they're like, oh shit, you have two embers in you, and then it's
And I didn't think of the embers as like entities unto themselves. Like I just thought it was like
just a part of her.
just a part of her. It wasn't like, oh, you've got like 2 embers, like as if there's like, you know, 8 makes a whole person.
Oh,
like,
right, yeah,
like,
I get that. But I suppose in the end, it is ascertained that, you know, they're a part of her regardless.
Yeah.
She is that vessel, and therefore she needs to die, and they will then be relinquished to whomever kills her.
Yeah. See, and this is where my theory, I think, is what's going to happen. Because when Kolis like, I'm going to drain all your blood or whatever, so I think that Nyktos has to drain her and then refill her to ascend her. So instead of letting her ascension take place naturally...
It's... Okay.
Yeah, she has to die
Yeah.
to transfer them.
But then she'd be brought back regardless, and then ascended into either like a godhood or like an ascended type of person.
Yeah.
Ah, okay,
so
I get
Kolis
that.
just wants to drain her.
Yeah.
But I think Nyktos will like give her his blood.
But I feel like Nyktos was under the impression that because of all the fates and the prophecy, and like she's going to die regardless.
I think they'll figure it out though.
Yeah.
She obviously doesn't die.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah, that's funny when you switch it back. I feel like, I don't know. I feel like, again, why does the second book give me a little bit more clarity? I don't know. Like, hindsight, I feel like this series is a little bit better than From Blood and Ash.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that we can probably agree on, despite you saying this is a pretty shit book, but...
Yeah, but the War of Two Queens was shit as well. So.
Heard it here first. Yeah, I don't know. I just... And the pacing is quite... I suppose everything has to happen towards the end anyway, I guess.
Which I don't like. Like, I'd rather have a bit of action in the middle
Yeah, for sure.
And then have like a quieter end or whatever.
And they've had a lot of tussles. I suppose it's like the structure. Like they have the downtime, they have a tussle.
I think that's why I liked From Blood and Ash, because when you think it was going to end, it didn't, because there was always all these action things happening. And
but then you just think, you could have stopped here, you could have stopped here as well. So yeah, this book pretty much picks up straight after the end of Shadow in the Ember, which is fun. The goddess Penelope or Penelope, however you want to say it, has revealed, this prophecy, and that Sera is destined to die. Then, Nyktos has that revelation, like because the only kind of fate line in order for her to survive any of this is if Nyktos loves her. And so Nyktos reveals, oh, funny that I'm incapable of loving. Plot twist. Sorry. And they take protective measures over Sera, that she gets like a special little charm put on her, so she is not to be taken against her will. Yes, and that was done by alright, so the first Victor, the OG Victor, his name is Victor Ward. Yes. And then I think From Blood and Ash, obviously Poppy had her Victor, her trainer, her guard, her literal Victor. Because I wrote down his last name in my notes, and it's like, was it Wardell or something like that? Yeah. But then this Victor in this book, is just Victor Ward. And so I'm thinking, is this the same Victor? Because the point of Victors is that they're reborn.
Yeah, but I don't think it's the same Victor the whole time being reborn, because obviously if you have a Victor and I have a Victor, it's not the same person.
But Victors are supposed to be rare. Not everyone can have a Victor.
I just think
not everyone deserves a Victor.
I think it was just done to be to tie in Victor with Victor.
Alright, I just thought it was just a funny connection, alright? I was like, light bulb moment. And then, I don't know, they have some exposition and discussions amongst themselves, because obviously Nyktos is still quite angry that, Sera's intent was to betray him.
Also, but he got his cardia removed because he is like, well, my weakness will be someone making me love them. Yeah. And then it's here's this consort or whatever. And it's as if you thought she was just going to come along, and be like, oh, thank you so much for saving me.
Right,
instead of, trying to do something.
And then I think Sera has, a realization that the prophecy about become his weakness, whatever, is in reference to Kolis. Yeah. And then that's what she's believed. So I know we described, from the From Blood and Ash series in general, there's a lot of, plot twists, but I feel like I found a better word for it. It's, it's a lot of misdirection.
Red herrings.
Exactly, yeah, a lot of misdirections, people not really understanding things properly. And we see it again, specifically with Kolis at the end of this book. He's under the impression that this prophecy is affecting him in this current, timeline of life, when we are aware that that prophecy is only becoming true in the From Blood and Ash series with Poppy and Castile. So I love that everyone has the sanctimonious idea that, I'm correct, this is my theory. Yeah. And, he sees the prophecy as him becoming the true primal king of primal of life and death and blah blah blah. Also, quick qualm, I guess maybe, because Nyktos and Sera, they have a lot of back and forth, moments where they're sweet, and then he gets angry because he doesn't trust her. Yeah. But it's what really annoyed me, he'd say something so maybe defensive, or just to react to Sera, again, he doesn't really trust her, but then he's always smirking at things. It's if you're angry, stay angry, almost, or if you're upset, stay upset. Yeah. I don't understand why you're just playing around.
Yeah, it's why are you pretending to be angry at her when obviously you're not?
Yeah, it's I understand brooding to a sense, but he's not even brooding. Yeah, it's just everyone's just always smirking and
and he's always quietly impressed by her as well. And
you can be quietly impressed, but if you don't trust her anymore, I understand Sera, is a bit of a hard ass, and she's obviously taking no bullshit and whatever, but no, he's just always smirking at her even after, I don't know, she says something witty back, and it's you don't trust her, dude. Now, a lot of this book as well, as we just said before, actions, discussion, action, blah, blah, blah. Amongst all that, there's a lot of repetition of Nyktos telling Sera to stay back. Oh, yeah. I love Sera, the fact that she's, defiant, she doesn't want to hide anymore.
And she's trained to
do shit.
To defend herself.
Fuck shit up. Yeah. And it's just Nyktos is always, Sera, stay back.
No,
the guard,
I won't.
This guard, you better keep her locked away, or else I'm going to murder you. Yeah. Obviously he doesn't. And they're all right, I'm going to do my best to make sure she stays within these four walls. And then, she just fucks off. Yeah. And they're but then they're surprised every time almost. Yeah. It's she can kick ass. She saved your life multiple times. It's just that repetition.
A qualm that I have as well is when Nyktos, I think, says like, oh, like, have you told him how you feel or whatever? And then when she goes and says, I want to be like your consort, like, not just in name.
Yeah.
But it's like, already, like, at this point, like, you've been fucking. Like, what part of you makes you think that she just wants to, like, not be involved with you in that way?
Yeah. I don't know, dude. It's always the third characters that have to bring that out. Yeah.
Do you love him?
Revelation, and she has a fucking breakdown.
I think I do love him. It's like, you've loved him from the first moment you saw him.
Yeah, for sure. And so the coronation is approaching. That's probably a major part of this book. Mm-hmm. Crowning her consort will offer her all the protection
it's
she needs.
Their wedding.
And their wedding. Yeah, I'd say so. Because, having the consort title offers her, I guess, Nyktos's protection more so than her just being there on her own accord. But spanner in the works, Kolis hadn't given them permission.
Forbids them, he doesn't. And so, they don't have his blessing.
Yeah, but apparently that's been an old sort of tradition that he hasn't really taken part of. So just because, I guess with all it's the big coincidence of like all these shutterings of power and stuff and energy and things coming back to life, and like the fact that a primal has been ascended, like all these coincidences have kind of...
Yeah, things being felt all over.
Yeah, and so he's like, he must think something is amiss and all this. So that's why he's suddenly taking care in this sort of thing. And so, so they can't do anything until...
They get his blessing.
He summons them, yeah.
Which I don't understand. Because I get he's the king of gods or whatever. Or the false king.
Yeah.
But it's like, if you want to take a consort, I don't understand how that is like approved or unapproved sort of thing.
Yeah, I don't know. Just thinking of Kolis, I know we're going to stray a little bit, but I love the whole like anecdotes of the other characters, and just the actions we've heard of him, obviously taking Ethos's embers, switching the whole roles of the realms and stuff, and like how Eos was treated by him being one of his favourite chosen and all that stuff. And then you get to meet him, obviously, when he summons them. Yeah. And I don't know, just something so... wicked. Yeah, obviously it's some wicked about him, but like, I don't know, it was very interesting to see how he spoke and like how he interacted with everybody, and everyone has like their primal persona almost. I don't know, it was just really interesting about him. Maybe it's just something about male villain characters. I don't know, because like I didn't feel this way like about Isbeth. I just thought she was a bitch. Maybe it's my internalized misogyny.
I think that he's an asshole.
Maybe just because he has that air of power, like he had done something to change like the cosmic being of the realm.
People are choosing to be with him, whereas Isbeth was like controlling people to be with her, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And I think, and just about Kolis in general, there's like, I know there's like a huge power imbalance, him being like the king of false king of gods and all that type of stuff. Yeah. But like the coercion into everyone doing his bidding, like he has the softest hands. Yeah. In the realm, and like
he ain't done shit.
And like, I feel like there's a bit of cowardice behind it as well. Yeah. Having that so much power for other people to do shit out of fear. So that's who he really is, I think. But yeah, I wasn't expecting him to like make Poppy not Poppy, fuck.
I was Sera, like, who's Poppy?
Oh no, to make Sera kill the dragon.
Yeah, I loved that whole thing. But then, to realise the revelation of the whole, that it was all the big setup.
Yeah, like he already knew.
Yeah, and like Attainable, was in on it.
I don't know how to pronounce it. Like Attainable.
Attainable, I don't know what audiobook it was. Attainable. And Attainable is in on it the whole time as well.
Yeah.
And
I was like, him.
That was like one big plot point that I was like,
a nice misdirection.
Yeah, I was
plot
like,
twist.
Holy shit! Like cheap writing, but
right. He did come across as someone who is kind of like trying to be on the winning side.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Like he'd stay with the power.
Yeah. But and obviously, Sera and Nyktos have conversations about whether or not he has friends as like primal friends, and like they can never truly like trust everybody because everyone's trying to one up each other and try and gain absolute power. I don't
understand. Like there's so many. It's like the god of like war and something. The god of like
Attis is the god of war and accord.
Yeah,
which is ironic because the war aspect is obviously the battles, and then the accord is like the diplomatic resolutions. It's like it's a bit contradictory. One leads to another.
But there's so many gods, like the gods of trees and flowers, the gods of butterflies
fertility,
and bees.
Beauty and fertility.
Yeah, like I was like, why is there so many?
God of divination.
Yeah, and then how I knew when Nyktos killed that god, that like something was going on.
Dices or whatever the fuck he is.
But then it's like, okay, so there's gods and primals, but like you can just go around killing any fucking god you want, apparently.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Oh, primals can at least.
Yeah.
Oh, also, I would like to rectify, in Shadow in the Ember, I think I said something about with Belle, how, because we were having a conversation like, oh, because Belle has ascended now into the prime, and she's able to contest the primalhood of Hanan specifically. Yeah. It's like, oh, why is that? But now I just realised it's because she was originally a part of his court, and that's probably why. Yeah. Because I'm a dumbass.
That's okay.
But, yeah, like, yeah, primals can kill all the gods. As many gods as they want, I guess, because they create the gods. And yeah, early in the book, there was an attack on the where the entombed gods lay, and so they were like being released and eating and fighting everybody, feeding everybody. And so it's like, what's the point in entombing? I suppose entombing them is a sort of torture and like forever prison in itself.
Yeah.
But like, just kill them. just kill them. Just kill them.
And like, just pick apart their bodies and burn them or something. Exactly. Like, don't just bury them.
Even in my notes, I wrote Poppy wax Nyktos with ether, and it was meant to be Sera.
Oh my god.
Oh, I hate myself. Jesus Christ. See, now the downside is, because it's so entwining, I wish there were 2 separate series which you don't have to. Because now I'm confused. Like, this would have been fantastic if it was
connected. I wish it was like, say, with like the Dance of Thieves thing, where it's just like a duology in the universe.
Yeah,
and it just like mentions other characters.
Even if this came first, and then everything in the From Blood and Ash series was just like a subtle reference.
Yeah,
like,
just a reference, like, oh, I know that person.
You shouldn't have to be 3 books into a main series and start reading a prequel book in order to understand references.
But like, stuff. It doesn't even. I still don't think you need it. Like, I think you can read From Blood and Ash and be like, oh, okay, and just be like, oh, this one thing I don't understand fully, but like whatever, I can give it I can let that go. Like, I don't think it's still totally relevant. I just think it's like, oh, this is cool that this is really connected to this.
Yeah. If we ever read a series and there's a prequel series, I'm going to keep it separate. Like, just read the main series and then read the prequel series. Yeah, for sure. Like, keep it separate. Yeah.
I think that's why I really liked the Throne of Glass prequel, because you didn't have to read it. No. But it just gave like a bit, like, it elaborated insight into characters. It's like, oh, that's really interesting. Like, now you know, like, yeah, a little bit more about these characters, but like, if you didn't want to read it, you didn't have to.
Yeah, it's not a be all end all.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I kind of regret the whole, like, we should have just read the From Blood and Ash series and then come back to the prequel. As God intended. To the internet who was telling us to like swap you have to do it this way. Like, no, I'm hella confused all the time.
But yeah, and now she's releasing the next Blood and Ash book, so now we have to wait even longer for the conclusion for these. The prequels.
Yeah, for sure. But at least now we don't have to like fuck around with like the book timelines of anything. So there are constant attacks in the Shadowlands because people are trying to find Belle, or Hanan. I suppose it's like they're
trying to find Belle.
They're just trying to find Belle.
Because they don't know it's Belle. They're trying to find the ascended god.
Although Hanan has very high suspicions that it is Belle.
Because obviously, like, if someone's missing from your court.
Yeah, but she's been missing for ages. Yeah. I just love how Nyktos, especially even with talking to Kolis and Hanan, like, he's able to spin the narrative of like, I don't fucking know. Yeah. She's not a part of my court.
Like, I thought it was you.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I just want to say, with the Kolis interaction, I loved how he spun that narrative to like stroke his ego, because the only ones who was able to do it is you, sir. Is you, uncle. You can do that. Yeah. Oh,
I'm so the deception. Over,
it was great though.
This trope of relatives. And
it's just one enemies. Big family squabble.
Yeah,
I hate it.
It's like Simba and Scar all over again.
Maybe this is a Lion King retelling and we don't even know. Yeah, look, it's just one giant family squabble and I hate it. So yeah, main plot of this book is the whole adventuring to try and remove the embers from Sera. They're trying to find Delphi, the god of divination. Delphi. Alright. The pool of... How do you pronounce that?
What? I don't know, divination. Is that what the pool is? See, I don't know anything.
Divinash, I think.
Oh yeah, Divinash.
So they're trying to find that, and because it shows objects or a person, whoever the seeker seeks. So they're trying to figure out where that is. They find that is... Oh no, it was in the abyss. Is it? I don't remember.
Oh yeah, no,
because Nyktos went with her.
I was gonna say Poppy.
I've screwed it up for us.
Sera had to go with Nyktos because Ash wasn't allowed to, and then that's when they
it was in the fade. It was in the fade. That's why. Yes. And there's this whole adventure.
And there was a siren song.
Oh yeah, and then she's like, do it again.
Wow,
that's beautiful. That's how you lure everybody. That's why Luke's here. Yeah, that's how you lured him. And this is a couple of days out before the before the intended coronation. Because they're trying to fill in time while they wait for Kolis' summons, because Kolis could be a prick and it could be like days, weeks, months, centuries before he summons them, blah blah blah, because he likes that power trip.
I mean, they should just elope.
just elope. Like, who cares? Yeah. I know, like,
and then they can do the "Where's my wife" trip.
Where is my wife? I feel like, yeah, Nyktos throughout this book has been ready for war and to bat for Sera regardless. So like, what this would have been,
and like, truly, what would happen?
This little
if
act
they
of,
just eloped.
Yeah, this little act of defiance. Like, what's it going to do if he's already preparing for war? That's fair. Oh yeah, that's right. And then before the coronation, there is an attack in the Shadowlands along the rise and stuff, because they're after Belle. We learn of these new kind of warriors called Sumerian. Because you listen to the audiobook, I have to look at you for confirmation that I'm saying it right. And they are after Belle. We meet like one of the god generals or whatever, Dorkin. He gets killed, ill-consequential. Everyone's so fucking arrogant to each other, and it's annoying.
The Deikai, who are I
don't think in this part, but
but they feed off
ether. Magic,
ether.
Does it really say ether?
No, it says ether, but in Blood and Ash it says ether. I'm like, why?
Yeah, so they kind of they're after Belle. That kind of dangles. Also, so we are led to believe we learn the truth later on. Again, more misdirection. No one knows what's going on. And then Sera has like a moment in her room, a nice little masturbation sesh, I guess, and then Nyktos.
And then Nyktos shadow steps his way. Oh no, he's shadows.
Although we do learn that he's able to do this ability called shadow step. We like it. He apparates. Yeah.
He winnows.
I was just thinking of what the word was. He winnows. Apparently, Sera could do that. Also, they're kind of running against the clock.
Have you heard the winnow sound from the graphic audios?
I think you've showed me.
Yeah, I gotta do it again. It's funny.
But yeah, also in this book, there's this race against time as well. Almost. But it's not that urgent. They're trying to have everything completed before Sera's culling and/or ascension, because obviously she will die. She's destined to die.
I'm looking forward to seeing you three under the mountain. I'll give Amarantha your regards.
Then we stand vanished into nothing.
It's like a fart.
It sounds like a 90s cartoon, like magic, like,
Once you listen to it enough, you're like, oh, okay.
It's so bad. Oh yeah, Sera and Nyktos shadow fucking. I mean, that was fun, I guess. I don't know. Again, it's about the whole... It's the will we, won't we... Yeah. But I suppose at this point as well, like, Sera she wants him.
She wants him bad. She's down bad.
She is down bad. Love that. Yeah. And even though, Nyktos doesn't really trust her, it kind of... But, like, he does. It's like, it's that back and forth. I know he wants... It's the pine... I love a good pining. Yeah. Maybe just not like this. They're very... Too much back and forth.
Yeah.
And I suppose from this point forward, they have this whole, like, fuck buddy situation.
Yeah, I think it was at this point when I was like, I just want them to fuck. Like, just get it over and done with. There's so much tension.
Yep. And then, like, after this, they do have an encounter with Attias, god of war and accord. I would like to start a discourse.
Oh no.
A discourse, if you will.
Oh, here we go. A discourse.
Horsegate.
TM 2023.
Yeah. So every god is an arrogant prick. So Attias is talking to Nyktos and Sera, and they're making introductions. Attias, whatever. Sera says something. He's a bit disrespectful towards her. I think it was Nyktos or Sera. One of them said, "I will feed your eyes to Seti, the horse." And we know where Seti's from.
Well, here's my issue. Before we continue.
Okay.
I knew Seti was familiar.
Yes.
I knew Seti was a horse.
Yeah.
I thought Seti was a horse in Dance of Thieves. So I was like, oh, that's cool. They just have the same named horse.
What a coincidence.
But then I remember that, like, Seti is from Blood and Ash as well.
It's also funny because in Dance of Thieves, there's a character named Paxton. There's a little kid Paxton in this as well. But yeah, Seti is the horse Castile has for Blood and Ash. But I really think it was a mistake because Nyktos' horse is called Odin.
Do you reckon? I reckon I know what's happened. So, there's like...
The horse is mortal?
No. I think in editing. Yeah. So I think that like they've just written Seti for Odin and they've done like search and replace. And so that one must have been spelt differently, so it didn't replace that one.
Yeah. Because I'm like, this doesn't make sense, because Nyktos' horse is named Odin. And then I think you said to me, or I even like looked on Reddit or something, and someone was like, oh, it could have been a gift to Sera, but then Nyktos actually gives her a horse named Gala. So like, there's been a fuck up. Yeah. So yeah, maybe Seti is the missing link all along.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe poor Seti, he's seen some things.
Seti is old.
He's old, yeah. He'd be like 2,000 fucking years old, that horse. Jesus, seen some things. So yeah, I was a bit confused when I read Seti. I'm like, huh?
And then, because I think it's only that like one time. So I think I must, like, it just
well.
like passed right over my head for a little bit.
And then on Reddit, I think they're trying to justify it, because apparently Seti was Theon's horse. And obviously Theon being a god and all that stuff, that would have then passed back down to like Castile inevitably. But yeah, I don't know.
Do you think, I have a theory now. Not theory, just
to end it, that's our discourse.
Oh yeah. Yeah, why is Seti here?
Yeah, it was a mistake, I reckon.
Do you think, so because Odin is kept in like the cuff,
yeah,
like
special magic
horse,
yes,
what if in like the next Blood and Ash, Nyktos is like, here, have my giant horse.
Have my giant horse? That sounded so wrong.
Have my giant cock.
Considering he's like refused to help Poppy,
yeah.
He doesn't give a fuck.
It's like, help your granddaughter.
He doesn't give a shit, bro. Nah, I don't think Nyktos gives a rat's ass about Poppy, to be honest. He's probably too grumpy. He needs to stay asleep. I love the theory though, but no. Saw another theory that Ateus, whatever the fuck, I don't know. Ateus. Because he has a dimple, and Castile is of the elemental bloodline.
No.
That's the connection.
No.
Yeah, a lot of people think that he is a descendant of.
I mean, maybe.
But he's a descendant of the enemy.
It's possible if you just throw in things for cheap shock factor.
Ooh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, nah, love that. All right, swept under the rug. I honestly don't care who Castile's descended from, respectfully.
I do want him to fuck me, but that's all.
That's all.
Yeah. Shall we talk?
Do you want him to shadow fuck you?
No, I want him to fuck me. And bite me.
Right, in the sensitive areas.
No.
That would hurt though.
Stop biting people's clits. Stop it. It doesn't do
it. But that is the utmost level of pleasure, allegedly.
Right in the very core of me. No, yeah. Stop it. Oh, yeah. There was another he slammed into me right to the hilt. And I was like, please stop. Like, yes, well done. He put his entire penis in you.
I feel like you don't need to add fantasy elements or like those types of descriptions in like medieval style books. Just be like, all the way.
Yeah, all the way. It's in. His entire
what were you going to say?
I was going to say, we've spoken about Seti making an appearance. Shall we talk about another name making an appearance?
Sure.
Okay.
Old mate.
When, not Poppy, when Sera finds out where...
Everyone does.
Where Delphi is.
Yeah.
I couldn't understand what they were saying, so I just called it Island.
Yeah, Ireland.
Okay, yeah. It sounded
I know, we talked about this in, I think, Crown of Gilded the Bone, because that's where Alistair took Poppy.
Yeah.
And you're like, Ireland? What the fuck?
Yeah.
I was like, it's like Ireland. That's why I remembered it.
So they go, and I don't know if they mentioned her last name in the first book, or if I'm just an idiot, but they go, because he's with Princess Kaylee Balfour.
Yeah, Delphi. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think they gave her last name.
They did her last name, yeah.
And not even because in War of Two Queens, Poppy Cauldron Manor is a significant place, and she finds an old tome and it says Princess Kaylee, and it doesn't even say Balfour then. Yeah. So I'm like, could this just be another thing that she's just thrown in to just connect everything? Not everything needs to be connected.
And we all know, that Poppy's last name is Balfour. I mean, really, she's not a Balfour, but it's her adopted last name.
You love that rep though.
Love that rep. I was like, hello?
Yeah, no, that was cool. So pretty much because this whole series, both series, is based on this one prophecy. Everything is sort of set in motion. Like, this is where everyone needs to go, needs to end up. And even Delphi, the god of divination, like, he was meant to die in that moment. But it changed.
He's like, I saw you kill me. But then because Sera was like, don't kill him.
Yeah, and he's like, all right.
So Sera's obviously very important, main character energy, we understand.
So obviously prophecies and fates can be changed in a way, in a subtle way. But if Victor were to step in and do it, that'd be a great catastrophe. Yeah. But Sera can do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that was very interesting. It was nice that we got to see her again. We didn't get to see her much in the first book. Just hear anecdotes about her and how...
Because she wasn't physically in.
Yeah, Tavius mistreated her.
Tavius, the arsehole.
Yeah.
I did like the mention of like Ash regularly going and visiting Tavius.
In the abyss, making
just
his life a
torturing,
living hell. Love
Yeah.
that. Yeah. I love. See, there's just good moments and throwbacks like
Yeah.
that. We also got to see Ezra again, which is nice.
I love
but
Ezra.
the strict conversation was just about how
I
the
do
rot
like
is.
the subtle legibitica.
little what?
The legibitica.
Oh, you're trying to do that meme?
When you find out it's Queen Ezra
Yeah.
because she married Marisol.
Yeah,
I was like,
love that.
damn,
Yeah, she's a
nice.
consort.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so cute. Poppy, fucking hell. Sarah was like, how is your consort? But I don't know why she didn't just say Marisol.
Yeah.
Just like, why is
I
we
guess
have to consorts are a secret?
I guess they were keeping it like
Maybe.
profesh.
But like it, whatever.
Yeah.
But then she's like, how is your consort? Or how do you find your consort or something?
Yeah.
And then Ezra was like, she's perfect. And it's like,
Yeah.
oh, that's so
Oh.
cute. And that's the thing as well, like the rot is still happening and like nothing is being done about
Yeah.
it yet. I suppose they can't do anything
do
until the
anything,
embers are in Nyktos.
Yeah.
And then everything will flourish. I really enjoyed their little moment. And then they ran into Sarah's mum.
Yeah. And then Nyktos was like, the only reason you're alive is because she doesn't want me to kill you.
Oh yeah, because we also learned that Nyktos has like a death book.
Yeah.
A death
tome.
Yeah, which it comes, the names of who's meant to die that day come to him and he writes it down.
A death note, if you will.
Yeah, I was just going to say, is that just not a rip-off of Death Note?
Yeah.
Why have we not heard of this before? Surely, I don't know. I suppose no one really knows what happens in a Primal's office.
Yeah.
I loved the moments with like Jadis and Reva as well. Just like all the
Jadis,
babying and the family vibe.
But we know that Jadis is gonna...
She goes MIA.
Yeah.
MIA. Not confirmed.
Not yet.
Not confirmed.
Maybe she'll make a comeback.
Maybe.
Surprise comeback.
But yeah, it just adds that sense of like familial dynamic.
Yeah.
And like, you know, Nick and how Nyktos is how he reacts around kind of like children Draken and all that type of child Draken. And it was cute that Jadis kind of slept in Sarah's arms as a child in their mortal form, and like that only means that they're safe. So it just goes to show, despite everything, like they are good people at the end of the day, despite being gods, you know, having all sorts, like they do bad things, but they're
in their core, they're good people.
I think Nyktos and Sera have a deep discussion about how primals were once upon it, or ancients were impartial to the balance of everything of life.
Yeah,
and then
and then they all started feeling emotions.
Yeah, they created the mortals, and then the mortals started creating emotions like love and all that type of stuff. And then the primals started to feel it, and then the Airy or the Array or however you say it, like started to do it too, and that's what causes all this imbalance, because though it's nice to feel like love and happiness, but you got to be able to feel the negative emotions as well, like rage and jealousy and all that type of stuff. Yeah. So it's very interesting how that kind of, all that little info dump lore, which is great. And it's nice to know, just back to Ezra real quick, that she is doing everything like her father didn't do in order to help the people. Like she's holding town halls, she's trying to form alliances to other kingdoms and all that type of stuff. She genuinely cares about her people. And then there's just existential crisis that Sera has, that she wants to be with Nyktos and wants to be his consort, wants to be his lover, his wife, blah blah. She wants to be everything to him.
Loves him.
A main adventure is that they go to the divination pool, which is in the Vale. Okay, we kind of already talked about that, but I just want to quickly talk about the process of the revealing of whatever the seeker seeks. It's a drop of blood and a secret.
Yes.
Sera has a pretty heartbreaking secret, bro.
So, like, I tried to kill myself.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah, she's like, what was it? She
When
took
she-
a sleeping
sleeping
draft
draft.
without the intention of waking up.
Yeah, but she took too much. She's like, I didn't mean, like, it wasn't an accident. I didn't want to wake up.
Yeah, I suppose this was all when she first probably got rejected.
Yeah.
I would assume by Nyktos when she was 17,
Yeah.
because she thought, this will end
She's
the rot.
failed, yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of the, suicidal, what do we call it? Ideations were kind of true in a sense. Also, I never read the author's note at the end of the book, but I saw something how it was like Sarah's story in the divination pool was based off like real experiences or real thoughts or something.
Yeah, I didn't read that either.
And then there was like a little suicide like hotline thing, like if you feel
or someone
if you need
else
help.
you know experiencing.
Exactly. Yeah.
Please call
So
me
that
on
was, it was pretty heartbreaking to hear that. But again, like we kind of knew that she, in the first book, like she really didn't value her life until once she realized like she's failed.
Yeah.
And she's constantly being told that she failed. Yeah. Just quickly, I really liked how we learnt a little bit more about Seon, Raha, and Eos.
Yeah.
I know I said it earlier briefly about Eos and how being Kolis' favorite.
Yeah.
But But we got to learn about how Seon and Raha, though I must say I do love a little bit of a history.
Yes.
But it's all there to like pipe Nyktos up as this good guy, you know, like despite him being a primal of death and like he deals with death every day.
Being like, I'm a bad person, blah blah blah.
But he's good.
Yeah.
He's morally grey, I guess, the utmost definition. Yeah, he saved Seon and Raha by taking their souls, and that just meant that he served
very sneakily.
Yeah, they serve him in his court because apparently Kolis used to do that when he had the OG death, primal of death embers and stuff. So that was fun. It's a tricky tactic. Yeah. We love to see it. Oh yeah, also once they were done with the divination pool, they were attacked by nymphs. See, we're learning like these other little creatures as well, like the nymphs, and I think the shades were mentioned maybe in From Blood and Ash. I didn't quite remember. But like the nymphs and stuff as well, like, but where are they in the From Blood and Ash timeline? Are they just like extinct?
Being killed out,
Maybe, yeah.
But only primals are meant to be able to kill them.
Yeah.
And Poppy... And
take a shot every time we say Poppy instead of Sera.
Sera kills one of them.
So are they just not the same character? Yeah. So yeah, that's fun. Yeah, she was able to just like disintegrate them with her power because I think she must have gotten angry or something, or she was on like a real extreme emotion, whether it be like fear or whatever. And Nyktos was very impressed. Yeah. And he's like, what the fuck, you're not meant to do that. Then they go back to the to the palace, and lo and behold, what happens, Kenzie?
Because Nyktos is no longer waiting for them because he was meant to. And Sera walks in on Vesi's in Nyktos's lap, sucking his blood.
And, like, riding him.
Yeah, grinding against him.
Grinding, whatever. Getting real into it.
Straight away, I was like, nah, this is sus. Like,
I thought Nyktos killed her last book. I feel like I have a note written that he killed her, but apparently not. I don't think we even mentioned her in that episode, but oh well. So yeah, and well, obviously that was a real shock because it's like, what the fuck? You've pretty much like, because even at that point, they're like, feels for her, he loves her, he's doing everything he can.
He cares for her.
He cares for her so much. He wants her. Next minute, boom, cheating trope almost.
Yeah, and I was like, nah, this is sus. Like something's going on. Anyway, Sera goes catatonic.
Yeah, pretty much.
Goes crazy, runs down to the pool. And he's like,
has a bit of a freak out, starts destroying the place.
Yeah, some
she's
roots
starting
start
to be
growing out of the ground.
Entombed with roots and stuff. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and then like it's just explained that like that's what happens when primals go into stasis.
Yeah.
And the roots are like meant to protect them. But Nyktos had to like compel her to sleep.
That was cool though.
Yeah,
because he never wants to use compulsion against her.
And then everyone's like, what the fuck happened? And then but Sera doesn't say anything.
And then like she talks to other characters, I think it could be Rain or Raha, or even like Sion, and it's like they give vague like he had to do it, you don't understand the situation. And even they
because they was like, you don't understand what he sacrificed.
Yeah.
And it's like, what?
You learn that Nyktos, a common motif is Nyktos doing everything he can to protect Sera almost without her even knowing it. So ultimately the deal was Vassis figured out that she
Vesi's figured out that there was a consort.
Fuck.
Consort in the like mortal realm or whatever. And then so she was like, well, if you be my personal blood bag, then I'm not going to tell Kolis anything. Yeah,
because I think, because she knew.
Yeah.
Because they refer back to a time where Nyktos saw Sera at the lake, because it's been dubbed her lake. Yeah. And like he'd been watching her for like years and all that type of stuff. Like he knew who she was. And like, Vesi's found that out. Yeah. Because she like followed him and stuff. Yeah. And the thing with Vesi's is she wants power. Like she wants to fuck Kolis so bad, but he doesn't want her. Yeah. So she's next best thing is the nephew. Yeah. Bouncing around between the family. Keep it in the family.
I found it so funny how like when she went to attack Sera, she like called her fat. Like he's chosen her fat and freckly. Like it's like okay.
That's so weird. Yeah.
And it's funny because like.
It's just the feminine jealousy.
Yeah, and like Sarah's freckles are like something that like Nyktos really likes.
Yeah, he's like there's 36. Yeah. Oh, that's cute though. It's like I've got to make sure, I've got to count again.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it was one of their sexy time moments. It was like, all right, how many are on my back? There's like 6, or how many is on my thigh? Like 2. And he's like very thorough. Yeah, just that fat. Freckly. Yeah. It's like, come on. Surely you can have a bit more intelligent.
And then
than that.
Sarah just stabs her in the eye.
Yeah, that was
like,
cool.
Fuck yes.
Fuck yeah, bitch. Everyone wanted to die. Belle wanted in on the action. Yeah. She wanted to fuck her up.
And then you find out like Vesi's has been the one like releasing like the shades and stuff.
Yeah, that's right. Because it was a distraction for Nyktos to deal with. Because only he can really deal with. Yeah. Because we learned that they're just like lost souls who have refused to turn over into like the abyss. Yeah. Nyktos and Sera have a talk. I thought Nyktos was going to tell her about whatever sacrifice with Vesies, but he does not.
Yeah.
Which is frustrating because it's like, just fucking tell us.
Just tell.
It's for the tension.
Yeah.
All for the tension. And then Sera was like, all right, well, after we deal with the embers and all this, I want my freedom.
Yeah.
Like, yep, done. And that felt like an oath.
Yeah.
It felt like a binding contract almost. I was worried. Kolis has summoned them now. Eos and Sera have a chat. I'm scared. I'm saying Poppy. I'm not realizing it. Eos, reveals her time in the court of Delos.
Delos, yep.
She was one of Kolis' favourites. She was in a gilded cage. We're very familiar with gilded cages.
Well.
We know where Isbeth got this idea from. And allegedly chosen, like, he wouldn't like do anything to them, but he would just like ogle and just stare, like, just have that power trip of like, I have you where I want you. I have the capacity to do whatever I want with you, but I'm not going to do it, like, to instill that type of fear. But then once they're like released to have their freedom, they're at the mercy of like all the gods in the court. Like, they're just a feral court by the sound of it. And so Eos, it's alluded that bad shit has happened to Eos as well. So
And then Kolis, makes Poppy kill a young Draken.
Yep.
Just for fun, apparently.
It's because it's because they had the intention of marrying
without seeking his permission.
Yeah, and then Nyktos is like, I thought
like,
you
show me some respect.
Yeah, exactly. And Nyktos is like, I'll do it because he's used to doing that type of thing for Kolis as punishment. And then Sera's like, no, I'll do it.
Yeah.
So they kill one of Kin. Yeah, I was making sure what the audiobook says. He's Atias's brother.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ataze.
Fucking hell. Every time I'm just going to say it wrong forever. She kills him. The young Draken. The name is Thad. Is Thad familiar? Thad. I don't remember a Thad from Blood and Ash series. So he might pop up. I don't know.
Maybe.
Kills the Draken. Kolis is satisfied. He gives them his blessing. They fuck off. Sera wants to bring the Draken back right away, as if that's not suspicious.
So then they go to
Vathi or Vathai or whatever it's called.
And they bring him back.
Yeah. Oh, and then, like, after they come back, Nyktos is wet, and that's where Vesies shows up.
Yeah.
Yep. Coronation Day. Why have I written Nyktos services Vesies to keep her quiet? I don't know. On the Coronation Day. That's not right. I don't know. Anyway, they have the coronation. They get married.
This is where Sion or Rain tell Sera about Nyktos and Vesies.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that's when one of them asks her, like, do you love him? And she realises that she's in love with
having
him.
a mental breakdown, like, because now this marriage has real feelings kind of involved, and like she's in it for the long haul. They have a very similar imprint on their hands.
Yes.
Yeah. They are blessed by the fates, they're calling it, but they're heartmates, I guess.
And he said that, like, that happened when, like, his father used to approve of marriages. So
that's cool. That's fun. I love seeing Sera so nervous because she's always like calm and resolved and like just feisty. Yeah. But seeing her so nervous and anxious in this type of way was nice. Yeah, she loves him and she calls him Ash.
Yes.
There are moments where she's just calling him Nyktos. I suppose
when she's mad at him.
That's the narrative distinction as to whether or not she's like she trusts him or likes him enough. Yeah. Obviously, because Ash is a very intimate name for him. So then they visit Cauldron Manor. They see Kaylee.
Yeah. Well, they fuck in the carriage.
They do fuck in the carriage. They're having a fun time. They see Delphi. They learn of this conduit which exchanges embers of life or embers, I guess primal embers from each other, whatever.
Kolis has it.
Kolis has it. Yep, someone told him.
Yeah, but then he's like, "Oh, you don't need that."
Yeah, I was so confused. I'm like, "Why are you giving this description of this conduit?" But it's like you don't. Well, technically, you don't have to use it.
Yeah,
so long as the primal and whoever has it, like you just got to kill them and you get it. Oh, but I think that's what Kolis did to Ethos.
Yeah.
Anyway, so like, what's the point of the conduit then?
Because I don't think Kolis killed Ethos.
I feel
like not by sucking his blood. I think he used like the conduit.
Okay. Yeah. Now I'm well confused.
Anyway.
But anyway, they don't need this conduit.
Yeah.
And so Nyktos and Sera have that existential talk of like, he's like, I'm not going to kill you. And Sarah's like, you're going to have to do it at some point. Yeah. And then she's like, when you're ready, do it at the lake. And that was cute. I love that lake. Yeah. I wonder what their lake is called in the From Blood and Ash series, because everything's slightly like different. Yeah. Although it did say in this book that Carcedonia is the capital of Lasania. Yeah. Lasagna. So that was, I don't fucking know.
And then there's a big battle.
Of course, yep. There's another Dakai attack.
And then Sera is like out there fighting or whatever, and she runs into Ataze. She's like, "Oh my god, thanks for like coming.
Thanks for the help. Yeah. Love that.
Yeah, and he's like, "Don't thank me yet."
Yeah. Oh, but yeah, first she finds Ector and
Oh, yeah.
Eos dead.
Oh,
which
yeah.
is- But
she
not...
brings Eos back.
Yeah, I don't know about Ector. I don't think Ector had been referenced in the From Blood and Ash series, so I think he's dead.
He's dead.
But because, yeah, obviously
Well, there
Eos
was
doesn't die.
Bits of him left. That was
Yeah,
a mess.
well, yeah, she chose Eos because she actually had her head.
Yeah.
Oh, gross. But it was kind of brushed over. Because she, obviously it's a very tense, heavy battle and stressed out. I don't know if it was declared that she ascended Belle. It would be assumed, considering she brought her back to life. Poor Ector, headless. She's trying, whatever power she's using on him attracts the Decai and everything. And then Nyktos is trying to save them by attracting the Decai by being in his primal form and like spilling ether everywhere, blah 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 blah. We know how the Decai work. But yeah, anyways, Atius, the fucking traitor, smacks Sera in the back of the head and she wakes up in a cage, a gilded cage. We are very familiar with this concept. And then we see old mate Callum.
Oh, Callum.
Callum.
Get out of here. Why you gotta be fucking everywhere?
Yeah. I feel like he obviously is going to be that strong villain connection between the past and present series. Because obviously he is like the right hand of Isbeth. But now that Isbeth is dead, like he's probably going to be taking the charge. So yeah, you wonder how Isbeth learnt of like the gilded cages trapping gods and weakening them and all that type of stuff. So obviously it's him.
Yeah.
And it turns out that like Kolis knew everything was going to happen. See, in this, like, it's the prophecy and, like, everything is happening is intentional.
Yeah, he knew the whole prophecy.
There's misdirection.
Yeah.
Yep. Callum reveals that he told Sarah's mum about how to kill a primal.
Yeah.
Which is make him be his weakness and all that type of stuff. So everything is connected.
I was going to say something. What was I going to say? Oh, I keep waiting because in Blood and Ash, the Caillou wolves are from Nyktos.
Yeah.
And so I keep like, when are these wolves coming? Like, what's
yeah,
gonna
and
happen?
like Sera referenced them.
Yeah,
like,
and then Sera remembers like seeing like a wolf, like watching her by her lake or whatever. And then she has like dreams of like a wolf like at her lake. And then she realizes like due to the prophecy that like Nyktos is a wolf.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
like, yeah, it would safe assumption that Cailloux have already been, granted the mortal wolf thing. But yeah, where are the fucking wolves? I don't know, where are they? Maybe in the next book. Maybe Nyktos, summons an army of wolves. Anyway, and so, Kolis is going on this evil, the evil monologue about this going through the whole prophecy. It's in 3 parts, beginning, middle, end, blah, blah, blah. He's misinterpreted it because he thinks this is going to happen to him in his lifetime, but we know it's happening 2,000 years into the future. Yes. I love everyone's misinterpreting the prophecy. I love it. Although I suppose Isbeth...
everyone just thinks it's about them.
I suppose Isbeth kind of got it right, but she had the guidance of Callum as well, because Callum's like, all right...
Callum's obviously like, I've seen this not happen.
Exactly. But and Callum is the only connection between the two. Kolis starts feeding off Sera because he wants the embers, and then old mate Satoria comes out of fucking...
Through. She's speaking to Kolis,
to Kolis, and he's like, what the fuck?
You're killing me again!
He's shooketh. Yeah. Because they found out that... Sera has both souls.
Both souls.
It's not just. Her.
It's not like a reincarnation deal. She has both souls.
And everyone's like, of course, that makes sense. He would hide the soul within the embers.
Yeah. Because then he knew that Kolis could never get them. Yeah.
And then it would force Kolis to kill her again, and probably that'd be like a weird, twisty mindfuck for him to do anyway. And then Ash comes and saves the day, aka Nyktos. He is in his silver wolf form, and that is also referenced in the prophecy.
Yes.
So. Perhaps the wolves are coming.
Yes. And then it ends.
But it's kind of like in the From Blood and Ash series where Poppy's captured, 2 seconds later she's retrieved. It's like with Sera. Sera's only been there for 2 days. Yeah. I think she was knocked out, and then now Nyktos is there to save her again. Yeah. It's very back and forth. I don't know, something about it hit different, even though I may have said some negative things about it.
Towards the end, I was like, okay, this is really picking up. But again, I think it was just really slow for me. There was a lot of Sera being trapped in her room, not trapped in her room, but in her room, or Sera
just solitude,
wandering around, or exposition dumping, blah blah blah.
Yeah, but you do get to see the relationship and the trust kind of grow back again. Because Sera has her fun list of demands, and Nyktos abides by them, and he has dinner with them. All the other gods end up having dinner with her and all that type of stuff. She's building upon the relationships a bit more. Yeah. Also, we ship Eos and Belle. Love that.
Legibitiqua.
Legibitiqua. I love that too. It was so funny when I first saw that. And also, she said, no bury a gaze trope today. Yeah. Eos will live.
I was like, fuck yes.
Yeah. But I suppose Ezra and Marisol being mortals, they're going to die a natural death anyway, and hopefully old age.
Yeah.
But now it'd be interesting to see how, if they, do anything more. I suppose they can't do anything until the rot's done, and everything's going to come back into balance when Nyktos has both.
I hope, I don't know, that like this whole thing is resolved like in the first 2/3 of the next book.
Yeah.
Like I hope it's not just right up until the
Feel
very end.
like next book's the last book for this one.
Yeah, surely.
Still got a fair bit to cover, because like Belle has to contest Hannon.
Yeah, and they have to have their kids.
Yeah. I suppose it could end with them about
Her
being pregnant. Yeah. And she still has to ascend.
Yeah, and like I hope it's only 3 books, because like what's the point of doing a prequel series if it's going to be like the same amount
Like
of
8
books
books
as
as
the main
well.
series?
Yeah. I don't know. I suppose depending on the world you build, like you could probably go on forever.
Help.
Like the Wheel of Time books. There's a million books in itself. But, yeah, no, I enjoyed it. Towards the end, I was like, "What the fuck?" I was messaging you like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, nah, Callum."
Yeah.
I love how there has just been like one lingering big bad as well, despite Callum being a lackey and like Vessus being like a lackey almost, and what's
Ataze.
Ataeus is like
A taser.
a tase. Okay, a tase is like. I saw a theory he could be like a triple agent.
Oh
He
shit.
can a la Malik style.
Way.
But like then everything is like too similar. Then.
Yeah.
Again, he just wants to be on the rights on the winning side.
They're like maybe the stories are meant to be like mirroring each other.
I guess, but
They're
then
like,
at that
that's
point,
stupid.
is it? Yeah, you can still be connected and still be different.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's A Light in the Flame,
Yeah.
and we've all
That's
caught up. A Light in the Flame and the Shadow and the Flesh and Fire.
And the Flesh and Fire.
Yeah, whatever. And
Thanks for listening.
we're done. I think
I'm done.
Emotionally checked out.
I think I'm glad we're doing something else this week, because I'm emotionally checked out from these books now.
Yeah. I'm done. I don't know. I think we screwed ourselves over by integrating the prequel. Fuck you, internet, for
Thanks,
telling
TikTok.
us to do that. Yeah, thanks, TikTok. I guess don't listen to everything you see on the internet. It'll obviously end Kolis being weakened enough to be like asleep and entombed. So Callum is not a revenant yet. He's just oh yeah, Kolis could be working with him. Yeah, he does seem a
Because
little
he
sus.
brought Kolis, because
that god back.
yeah, Deus or whatever his
Yeah,
name
and
was.
his heart
Yeah,
got
as a
ripped
revenant.
out.
Yeah.
So obviously Callum hasn't been sleeping then. He wouldn't be asleep. I guess because being a revenant, that would fuck you up.
Yeah.
In a way.
He's just chilling.
He's just chilling. He's just waiting for the prophecy to actually come into motion. All right, I'm glad. I think the next from Blood and Ash book comes out in July.
Oh, good.
So like we have time to like just forget and stew.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, thanks for listening. Again, emotionally checked out.
Yeah. As
all
always,
all over the place. All over the place.
find us on Instagram, and then link in the bio, link tree. Find us everywhere.
Everything. Yeah. Instagram's the best place.
Yeah.
All right. Cheers, guys.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.